All right, today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to sharpen our minds. We're going to learn how to break down basically any argument, spot the hidden clues, and start thinking with the kind of precision you'd expect from a master detective.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You're scrolling through your feed or maybe reading an article, and you come across a claim that, well, it just doesn't feel quite right. It sounds plausible, sure, but something feels a little off. That feeling, that's your inner detective telling you a brand new case has just been opened. Now, to solve these cases, you don't need a magnifying glass or a fingerprint kit. What you need is a mental toolkit designed for logical reasoning. And today, we're going to equip you with all the essential tools you need to analyze any argument and, hopefully, uncover the truth.
Okay, so let's open up that toolkit. Our first tool is for cracking those really airtight cases. It's called deduction, and I want you to think of it like a precision lockpick for logic. This is for arguments where, if your starting points are true, the conclusion is absolutely 100% guaranteed.
Now, the phrase you really want to lock onto here is necessarily follows. See, deductive reasoning isn't about what's probably true or likely true. It's about what is inescapably true based on your starting points, which we call premises.
Let's look at a quick case file to see it in action. Our first premise is a general rule. All effective teachers communicate clearly. Okay, our second premise is a specific fact. Ihona is an effective teacher. Well, if both of those statements are true, then the conclusion isn't just likely, it is unavoidable. Ihona has to communicate clearly. See how it just clicks into place?
And this is the perfect way to picture it. If your premises are the right key, and by that I mean they're true, they will always unlock the same correct conclusion. That right there is the power of the logic lockpick.
But let's be real. Not all cases are that simple, right? Sometimes you've got to gather a bunch of clues and just see where they lead. And for that, we need our second tool, induction. This is our evidence magnifier. It helps us see the bigger picture from all the smaller pieces of evidence.
So, unlike the ironclad certainty of deduction, induction is really the art of the probable. It's all about looking at specific clues, observations, data, personal experiences, and then forming a general conclusion that is likely to be true. This is exactly how most detectives, and scientists for that matter, form their initial theories.
For example, if you're observing a classroom and you notice clue number 1, a lot of students seem to prefer interactive activities. And clue number 2, those same students participate way more in group discussions. You can use those clues to form a probable conclusion. Maybe interactive teaching methods improve student engagement overall. Now, it's not a guarantee, but it is a pretty strong theory based on the evidence you've gathered.
And here's the thing you absolutely have to remember. Not all inductive arguments are created equal. The strength of your case depends entirely on the quality and the quantity of your evidence. Is your case strong, moderate, or is it actually pretty weak? You have to weigh the clues.
And this just lays out the difference perfectly. That weak conclusion on the left, saying all students, is built on super flimsy evidence. It's a classic overgeneralization, basically a house of cards just waiting to collapse. A good detective avoids that trap. The stronger conclusion on the right is much more measured and specific. It's built from solid evidence, which makes it way more reliable.
So let's put our two main tools on the table, side by side. Deduction, the logic lockpick, moves from a big general rule down to a specific, guaranteed conclusion. Induction, the evidence magnifier, moves from specific little clues up to a general, probable theory. One is all about logical certainty, the other is about evidential strength. You absolutely need both in your toolkit.
All right, you've got the basics down. Now for a more advanced skill. You see, sometimes the most important clue in any case is the one that's missing. We need to learn how to spot the hidden culprit in an argument, the unstated assumption.
Think of a hidden assumption, like invisible glue holding an argument together. It's a belief the speaker just takes for granted. But here's the catch. If that assumption turns out to be false, their entire case can fall apart. Finding it is the key to a really thorough investigation.
Okay, let's open a new case file. I'm sure you've heard this claim before. On the surface, it sounds totally logical. I mean, more access should mean more effective learning, right? But hold on a second. Let's put on our detective hat. What's the hidden culprit here?
Before I give you the answer, just take a second to think about it. What has to be true for anytime access to automatically equal more effective? What is this argument not saying out loud?
And there it is. The hidden assumption is that all students benefit equally from flexible learning environments. That argument only works if you accept that as true. But what about students who really need structure to thrive, or those who, lack a bit of self-discipline? By spotting this one hidden assumption, you've found the major weak point in the argument's foundation.
And look, this isn't just me saying this. As experts like Butterworth and Thwaites point out, this isn't just some neat little party trick. It is an absolutely essential skill for truly understanding and evaluating any line of reasoning you ever come across.
So you've got the tools, the logic lockpick, the evidence magnifier, and now the skill to spot those hidden culprits. So let's talk about how all of this transforms you from just a detective into a true expert thinker.
So why does any of this matter? Because these skills are not just for, philosophical debates in a classroom. They are for real life. Whether you're trying to analyze an academic paper, interpret the news, or even just make a major life decision, this toolkit empowers you to think with more clarity, more logic, and a lot more confidence.
Because ultimately, that's what this is all about. It's about cutting through all the noise out there. It's about having the ability to confidently tell the difference between an argument that's built on a solid foundation of logic and evidence and one that's just a house of cards.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. A challenge, really. The next time you encounter an argument, online, at work, anywhere, don't just blindly accept it. Open up your new detective's toolkit and ask yourself, what's the first clue I'm going to look for? Is it a deduction, an induction, or maybe a hidden assumption just waiting to be uncovered? The case is yours.